Hello, my fellow teachers. Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, misbehavior still happens? Like you've tried all the strategies, you've stayed calm, you've explained expectations, and there is still that one child who keeps testing limits, and nothing seems to stick. And I want to tell you this, you're not alone. Every teacher I know struggles with this, and behind most behavior problems, there is usually something deeper than a strategy. Something about connection, belonging, and being seen and valued. So in this video, I'm going to give you a simple framework that helps in real classrooms, especially when you feel like a child already has that problem child label. And I'm saying framework, but it's not something I invented at a whiteboard. It's something I noticed by accident, by doing the job. And only later I found words for it in a book. Because here's the biggest reframe. The biggest threat to behavior in your classroom is not the child's bad behavior. It's the story that is built around that child. It's that label. The moment a child becomes that kid, everything they do gets interpreted as proof. They sneeze wrong, proof. They drop a pencil, proof. They spill something, proof. And the child feels it. The group feels it. And adults feel it too. And suddenly, you're not correcting behavior anymore. You're fighting an identity. And that's why so many strategies actually fail. Not because they're bad, but because they're being used inside a relationship where the child already feels misunderstood, disconnected, or judged. And when a child feels that, misbehavior stops being a thing they do sometimes and starts becoming the only way they know how to exist in the room. Now, let me give you a real example from my school. We had a situation recently. A boy in one of our groups already carries a label, not just from adults, but from the other kids too. He is the one they expect things from. One day he spilled a whole carton of milk on the glass door at the front of the school. It looked really dramatic, milk everywhere. And immediately the reaction was, oh, of course it was him. He did it on purpose. Who else could it be? And that moment, right there, is the whole problem. Because, let's just be honest, the milk isn't the problem, but the story is. So I stopped it. I said, please stop judging. You are not there. You don't know what happened. And then I went outside. I looked at him and said calmly, oh, I see the milk spilled. Here's a cloth. Please clean it. He immediately said, I didn't do it on purpose. And I said, okay, that doesn't matter. Clean it up. And that was it. No disappointment, no speech, no extra meaning. Behavior handled. But then one of the teachers said something that honestly hurt me to hear, like it really did. Well, of course it was him. He always causes problems. And I remember thinking, this is why some children never get better. Because in the adult's mind, they're already decided. And if the adult has already decided who the child is, then the child has no space to become anyone else. So if you want to be a master teacher, not the perfect teacher, not the teacher with magic children, but the teacher who can work with behavior without losing your energy and without turning kids into villains, you need to do 3 things consistently. And the key is, these 3 things do 2 jobs at the same time. They build relationship and they slowly remove the label. Number 1, collect the child every time. This is the piece I have been doing for years without even realizing it. Kids come into your classroom after separation. Even if it's only a few days, that bond is interrupted. And if you try to instruct them before you reconnect, you run straight into resistance. So collecting is simple. It's the moment the child feels, we're good. I'm safe with you. You see me. It's eye contact. It's a hi with their name. Hi, Kate. Hi, Rob. Hi, Mark. It's a tiny moment of warmth. It's a quick check-in. It's your energy saying, I'm with you and I like you. And later I read Hold On to Your Kids by Gordon Neufeld and the Gabor Maté, and I basically had this moment of, oh my God, this is exactly it. Neufeld literally describes the act of collecting, and he explains why children resist the demands of adults they feel disconnected from. That book didn't give me the idea. It gave me the language, and I really strongly advise that you read that book. I could not recommend this book high enough. It's a must read for every teacher, for every parent, for every caregiver, really. Number 2, correct the behavior in a neutral tone every single time. Because here's what teachers often don't realize. It's not only what you say, it's how the child experiences while you say it. Eye rolling, sighs, again, that tone of disappointment, that micro-shaming, it all strengthens the label. So instead, you name what you see and you say what needs to happen next. Period. No speech. No, what's wrong with you? No, you always. No performance for the group. Just, you're standing, sit down. You're talking, quiet now. You threw it, pick it up. Neutral tone does something powerful. It tells the child, I'm not judging who you are. I'm just guiding what you're doing. And when you do that consistently, you stop feeding the identity. Number 3, notice effort and the good on purpose every lesson. This is the part that most teachers skip, and is the part that changes everything with labeled children. Because many children with behavioral issues also carry a second label in their head. I'm bad at school, I'm stupid, I cannot do it, so they misbehave. Partly because failing hurts, and misbehavior gives them control, attention, and sometimes even status. Your job is to create tiny proof every lesson that a different story is possible, and not fake praise, not amazing for breathing, but real noticing. I saw you start, I saw you try, I saw you help, I saw you come back after a mistake. I saw you there in the classroom. I'm so happy to see you. This is very close to what Marva Collins used to do. She intentionally found something good in every child every day. And what that does is not only build a relationship, it also starts to dissolve the label, because the child finally meets an adult who sees something else. Now here's the important part. These 3 things are not 3 separate tips. They're one system. Collecting builds the bond. Neutral correction protects the bond. Noticing effort deepens the bond and removes the label. And once the child feels connected, and once the child feels they're not trapped in problem child identity, behavior actually becomes teachable. Because now the child has a reason to cooperate that isn't fear, punishment, or performance. And I want to be honest, this won't fix every case. There will always be a small percentage of children whose needs go far beyond what we can do in a classroom alone. And then we need parents, number 1. That's the most important part, parents, then psychologists and long-term support. And sometimes even more than that. School cannot carry everything. But for most children, this is the shift. Behavior is not just rules. It's relationships, it's identity. So if you take one thing from this video, take this. Stop asking only, how do I fix behavior? And start asking, what story is this child living inside? And am I feeding it or changing it? If you want, in the next video, I can show you what collecting looks like in very concrete classroom situations. Literally, what to say, what to do, how long it takes, and how to do it without it feeling fake or cheesy. And if this video helped you think of one child differently, Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to hear those stories. And if you work with kids and you want more videos like this, practical, real, and based on what actually happens in real classrooms, subscribe and stay with me here. Bye. Happy teaching.